I'm LeFrancois. I teach criminal law, criminal procedure, and jurisprudence. I was born in State College, Pennsylvania. I went to college at Beloit College in Wisconsin and went to law school at the University of Chicago. I practiced law for a very brief time in Pennsylvania before coming to OCU. I practiced largely criminal law, which was a really interesting time for me. I liked it lots more than I thought I would. I was also interested in doing at least some practicing before I taught, although when I was in law school, I did kind of think, teaching law school would be a pretty neat thing to do. But it was important to me to have some practice experience, and kind of in a very direct and real way, I wanted to actually do cases rather than kind of help somebody do cases, or rather than simply do research. So I had a little bit of courtroom exposure during the brief time that I did practice. It occurred to me toward the end of my college career that law would be a great way to sort of put philosophy in action, or at least some important parts of philosophy. Doing something that is perceived as so sort of vocational and professional as law was kind of a big decision to make. And I ultimately decided that law, whether practicing it or teaching it, would be a way to kind of put philosophy on the ground in some important ways, or at least try to. In terms of trying to do something that will make a difference in people's lives, it seems to me that criminal law is the single most important area of the law in that regard. I mean, it is a place where huge differences are made in people's lives, whether one prosecutes or defends. Decisions about restricting people's freedom, decisions about, in the extreme case, taking the life of somebody for something that they have done, those decisions are just critically important moral decisions, I think. I've done a number of different things at OCU. I've served as interim dean and associate dean, joined the faculty as a visiting faculty member, got tenure shortly thereafter, became an associate dean under Robert Henry, who's now the chief judge of the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. When he left to assume that job, I became the interim dean, and I had never ever joined a law school faculty so that I could administer others on a law school faculty. So I was certainly willing to help as associate dean, and then I resumed my teaching career. And I've done since then lots of things that have interested me. I've done some university service, most recently in terms of long-range planning, also campus master planning, and now I'm heading up an effort for our reaccreditation by the Higher Learning Commission, which is kind of a big university-wide thing. It's just always great to be in the classroom with kind of new student generations, with different sets of students who have different concerns, sometimes different capacities, different skill sets. So there's just something, and I think most teachers in higher ed would agree with this, there's just something about being with people who are sort of younger than you are that's kind of a neat thing, and that's a real learning experience in itself. It's a terrific thing for students to be exposed both to people who've been around for a while, but it's certainly at least as terrific, and maybe more so, for them to be exposed to people who are just beginning their legal teaching careers, people who are closer in age to many of our students, people who may, in a sense, occupy more of the world that is occupied by our students. And I think we have, again, an unusually good, energetic, vibrant young faculty.